In the beginning, when I opened my first store in Venice, I had no money at that point, so I literally put my personal stuff on the walls, my personal record collection, my personal skateboards, and I painted everything myself because I had no budget for that. So I don't know, it's just this whole kind of part of the brand and my passion and the lifestyle that I think, leaves people feeling good. I'm Paige Mycoskie. I'm the founder and president of Aviator Nation. Aviator Nation is a lifestyle brand that ultimately was created to bring people together and make quality clothing in America that makes you feel comfortable and good about yourself. Fashion is honestly probably one of the most competitive businesses out there. I think for me, the Made in America thing is a huge part of that because most companies, even the companies that start out with Made in America, end up taking it overseas. And now that I've done this for 16 years and I'm still making it in California, where it's very expensive obviously to make clothes, I think that makes me feel like I'm doing something different and better than a lot of other companies. I was actually living in California and I was working in a surf shop and I was doing photography freelance. I thought photography was my path, but it was when I was working in the surf shop and I was around clothing all the time that I realized I had such a crazy passion for the clothing. And I would look at clothes and I'd be like, I like that, but I want it to be this color. I want it to have a different design. And I just became kind of obsessed with it. And so I bought a sewing machine and just started making clothes for myself, and I would stay up late at night after work and literally sew for hours trying to get the fit right and the design right. And it wasn't just a fun little hobby, it was truly a passion and I became kind of obsessed with it. Once I had it to where I thought it was perfect, then I started selling it at a street festival. And so that first time that I sold it at the festival, I think I paid like $500 for the booth and I ended up making $8,000 in one day at a street fair. So pretty much immediately I was like, I need to quit my job at the surf shop and just focus on this. If I can make $8,000 in one day, there's a business here. Fred Siegel was this store in Santa Monica that really took a chance on new designers. And so one day I rolled in like my rack of clothes that I had literally sewn in my garage, and the buyer was blown away. She was like, I love this, it's amazing. She bought everything and she placed an order for close to $9 grand. And literally one weekend went by. She called me on Monday morning and she said, Paige, everything's sold out. We need more, we need to figure this out. Like, we need regular deliveries. I immediately went downtown and I went door to door in factories, starting to look for sewers and build my team. In the beginning, having no experience and no formal training and just kind of doing it the way that made sense to me, drawing it by hand, ended up going into the early designs, and people loved that about the clothes. They loved that it was a little bit imperfect, and it wasn't computer-generated graphics, which is pretty much what most people do. My thing was I really wanted the clothes to look vintage. The machines that we use for screen printing are different than what most people use, so we don't use all the fancy new techniques. Most companies would send garments through a basic wash process that, takes like 20 minutes or something like that. I mean, our stuff is in the wash for like an hour and a half. And that's what I'm passionate about because I want it to feel vintage when you're buying it. When I decided to start opening more stores, I wanted to make sure that the store was really, it had posters and memorabilia and stuff from the actual community. So, for example, we're here in the Austin store. There's a lot of albums of artists that are from here. There's posters of Willie Nelson and Dazed and Confused. These are like iconic figures that came from Texas. It definitely makes each store super unique and special to the community that it's in. Watching other companies and watching the quality kind of go backwards, I think I always, told myself I never want that to happen. I want our quality to just get better. There's corners you can cut every day to make a lot more money. But if you're focused on the quality, like, the customers are gonna stay and they're gonna grow and they're gonna tell their friends, and that's what ultimately really makes us successful. The reality is, as an entrepreneur, what you start is about to become your entire life. So if you don't love it, this is gonna suck for you, you know what I mean? So like, Start with what you love to do and then try to make that your business, because it's going to be your life. And then the money and all of that just comes, because if you're doing what you love, people see that and they want to be part of that. The money will come. Forget about the money.